2 decades and lessons not learned. Kurt Busch arrested for DWI. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we've got something big to talk about, and honestly, it's pretty concerning. Kurt Busch, the 2004 NASCAR Winston Cup Series champion, is making headlines again, but not for anything good. After more than 20 years in the spotlight, you'd think he'd have learned from the past, right? But here we are, and it seems like some lessons just didn't stick. So let's dive into what happened, why it's such a big deal, and what this means for Kurt Busch and the NASCAR community as a whole. Get comfy, because this story is a roller coaster that touches on fame, pressure, and some serious personal struggles. Alright, let's start with the facts. On the night of August 12, 2024, Kurt Busch found himself on the wrong side of the law in Iredell County, North Carolina. He was driving his 2024 Lexus when a deputy pulled him over for speeding, 63 miles per hour in a 45 miles per hour zone. Now, sure, speeding is something we might expect from a NASCAR driver, but this wasn't on a track, and unfortunately, things only got worse from there. The officer noticed Busch had red, glassy eyes and could smell alcohol on his breath. When they tested him, his blood alcohol concentration, BAC, was 0.17%, more than double the legal limit in North Carolina.
That's quite big.
That's not just a little over, that's way over. As a result, Busch was charged with DWI, careless and reckless driving, and speeding. He spent some time in the Iredell County Detention Center before being released on a promise to appear in court on September 19th. This isn't just a minor slip-up. It's a serious situation that could have ended in tragedy. And for someone with Kurt Busch's history, it's disappointing, to say the least. A look back? Lessons not learned? Here's the thing. This isn't the first time Kurt Busch has been in trouble like this. Some of you might remember that back in November 2005, he was cited for reckless driving in Maricopa County, Arizona. That incident also involved suspicion of DUI, although he wasn't formally charged. He got off with 50 hours of community service, which you'd think would have been a wake-up call. But fast forward nearly 20 years, and it feels like we're stuck on repeat. So, what's going on here? How does a guy with such a successful career, a NASCAR champion, no less, end up in this kind of situation again? Is it the pressure of being in the spotlight? The intense world of NASCAR? Or are we looking at something deeper, something more personal? The pressure cooker of NASCAR. Let's talk about the NASCAR lifestyle for a minute. It's not just about racing, it's about living life in the fast lane, literally and figuratively. The sport demands insane focus, unrelenting determination, and the ability to handle pressure that most of us can only imagine. These drivers are constantly under the microscope, with every move analyzed by fans, media, and sponsors. For Kurt Busch, that pressure has been a constant throughout his career. From his early days at Roush Fenway Racing to his more recent role at 23X iRacing, he's always been a guy people talk about. Known for his fiery temper and aggressive driving style, he's had to balance being competitive with maintaining a professional image. But let's be real. What happens when the pressure gets to be too much? For a lot of people, athletes included, the temptation to blow off steam can lead to some bad decisions. And alcohol? Well, that's an easy way to cope, but it's also a dangerous one, especially when you get behind the wheel. The impact on Kurt's legacy. Kurt Busch isn't just any NASCAR driver, he's a legend in the sport. With 34 Cup Series wins and a championship under his belt, there's no denying his talent and impact. But incidents like this have the potential to overshadow even the most impressive legacies. Let's be honest, this arrest isn't just a small bump in the road, it's a big deal that could change how people see him. Fans, sponsors, and other drivers are going to look at Busch differently after this. The real question is, can he bounce back from this? And if so, how? Busch retired from full-time racing in 2022 after suffering a concussion at Pocono Raceway. That was a tough decision, but he did it with grace, earning respect from the entire NASCAR community. Since then, he's taken on a mentorship role at 23X iRacing, helping guide younger drivers like Bubba Wallace and Tyler Reddick. But with this latest incident, his role as a mentor might be in jeopardy. After all, how do you lead others when you're still battling your own demons? NASCAR's response. What could happen next? Whenever a driver gets into legal trouble, especially something as serious as a DWI, NASCAR's response is closely watched. The organization has a history of taking disciplinary action in such cases, ranging from fines to suspensions. NASCAR has a code of conduct that all drivers must adhere to, and a DWI arrest certainly falls under behavior that violates this code. While Busch is no longer a full-time driver, his involvement in the sport could still be impacted. We could see NASCAR impose penalties that affect his current role at 23X iRacing, or perhaps even his future in any official capacity within the sport. Moreover, this incident raises questions about the support systems in place for drivers. Is NASCAR doing enough to help drivers cope with the pressures of the sport? Are there better ways to prevent these kinds of situations from occurring? The bigger picture, a cautionary tale. Kurt Busch's arrest serves as a stark reminder that no one is immune to the consequences of their actions, regardless of their status or achievements. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of fame and fortune, but when the cameras are off and the fans go home, these drivers are just people who make mistakes, just like the rest of us. But what sets them apart is the platform they have and the influence they wield. When someone like Kurt Busch gets a DWI, it's not just a personal failing, it's a public one. It sends a message to fans, especially younger ones, about what's acceptable behavior. That's why it's crucial for Busch to take responsibility and use this experience as a lesson, not just for himself, but for everyone watching. Moving forward, what should Kurt Busch do? So, what's next for Kurt Busch? The road ahead won't be easy. He'll have to face the legal consequences of his actions, but beyond that, he'll need to rebuild his reputation, both personally and professionally. First and foremost, it's essential that Busch acknowledges the gravity of what he's done. A sincere public apology would be a good start, but actions speak louder than words. Engaging in community service, particularly in areas related to drunk driving prevention, could be a powerful way to turn this negative into a positive. Additionally, seeking help, whether through counseling or other support systems, would not only show personal growth but also set an example for others. It's never too late to change, and by taking the right steps, Busch could still salvage his legacy and continue to contribute positively to the sport he loves. Kurt Busch's DWI arrest is a sobering reminder of the challenges that come with fame and the importance of personal responsibility. While this incident is undoubtedly a low point in his career, it also presents an opportunity for growth and redemption. The path forward won't be easy, but with the right approach, Busch can turn this setback into a catalyst for positive change. As always, we'll be keeping a close eye on how this story develops, and we'll be here to bring you all the latest updates. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Let's keep the conversation going in the comments. What do you think Kurt Busch should do next? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and keep loving NASCAR.